next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido and
Janice Gaunt and
Tom Bridwell.
Yay!
Welcome back, folk.
Thank you. It's been a very short week.
Yeah. Time does fly, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
Hey, how's your shoulder healing?
Oh, my shoulder is better, but it is not there.
How many months has it been?
It was May 23rd when I had the surgery. So May,
June,
July, August.
September.
September.
That's not that long.
No, and it's supposed to be a 9-month heal.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good grief!
I know, and I've got a lot more movement than I have had. I went to physical therapy today, and I'm still doing that twice a week. But then there's still some limitation that I can't do at all with raising my arm out to the side totally. It's very interesting. But it's better. So,
Shoulders are complicated.
they are complicated. Who would have thought?
Yeah, you don't know until you know.
No.
And then when you know, you wish you never knew.
I know.
Could have done without that one.
No kidding. I'm going to take care of my shoulders. I think there are a couple of exercises with weights, not heavy weights, that you can do to help strengthen those muscles all around your shoulder. And I'm going to really add that to my
Repertoire.
Yes, darling.
Your exercise repertoire.
Yes. So, yeah, because I still haven't been given clearance on doing weights and stand on my head or anything like that.
But you're back to walking and
You're
exercising.
Oh, yeah.
At least doing what you can do.
Yeah. And I have a treadmill, so that's been really, really helpful to make sure that I get, at least 10,000 steps.
I know how you and Blair and probably your other two girls are about your steps.
We are. We're kind of psycho.
Good Lord.
The other day I got like 22,000. I was
so
proud of myself.
Wow. That's amazing.
It was a lot.
Yeah. One time in San Francisco, Craig and I got like 25,000.
I'll bet.
I mean, because you just walk everywhere there.
When Tom and I went to Barcelona, we walked all over that
That's
city.
the best city to walk in.
It is. And we were there like maybe 5 nights. And we had, when we left there to go to our next stop, we had 250,000 steps.
Oh my gosh.
Phenomenal.
I've never heard.
I know. Because we walked. We never took a cab.
You couldn't
We never did an
eat
Uber.
enough
Yeah.
to
we
sustain
ate a ton.
250,000 steps.
Isn't that something?
Is something.
I know.
When I went to Barcelona, there was a taxi strike.
Oh.
And so there were no taxis.
Oh.
We had to figure out how to take public transportation from the airport to our hotel.
Oh.
Nothing. No
Hobnobbing
Ubers,
with the masses.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so today we need to thank our sponsor, Paige Anderson.
Paige, again, you are so sweet.
She is
Thank
very
you
generous with
so
us.
much.
And always loving the remedy, which I really appreciate about her.
That's so sweet.
We are continuing our conversation that we started last week. I found this post on Instagram that I thought was super enlightening, and it was simply 11 attributes to a healthy relationship. And he is leaning toward a romantic relationship.
Yeah. But we didn't even mention that could be with a friendship too.
I think there's a
lot of that, or a
this.
parent-child, or I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, outside of the first one, which was talking about a team. I'm not really a team with Carter. I mean, I guess we're
kind
a family team. Sort of.
You and I are a team, aren't we?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. In fact, some magazine interviewed me, and it was like, they said, tell us how you met your partner, like your business partner, and you're the only business partner I have. And so I was like, she was my therapist. Is that weird?
Oh, that's so funny.
It was funny. Okay, so we started last week with the first 5.
Yes.
And we, so if you haven't listened to last week's, you're going to want to do that because there was several good little nuggets in there. Today we're starting on 6, which says conflict is an opportunity to understand each other. Boy, howdy do I love that.
And that is sometimes difficult to wrap your brain around.
Or appreciate it.
In the
midst of the conflict. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're having this conflict. This is such an opportunity for us to understand
each other. I'm
each
so
other.
glad that you are so wrong. And I hope that I have the opportunity to convince you of that.
Oh my gosh, totally. That's the only way that this makes sense.
That's
So
funny.
I'll read what it says. Disagreements are natural, but you do your best to not make it about winning. Instead, you try to understand each other's perspective. You practice selfless listening so you can really take in how the series of events occurred in your partner's mind.
Okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to describe how, if I were your client and you read that to me and I said, okay, so tell me what is selfless listening?
I think that it would come down to this last sentence. Really take in the series, how the series of events occurred in your partner's mind. Because in conflict, what I experience myself and what I witness other people experiencing is you just want to convince your partner why you're right and they're wrong.
Yeah.
That's why there's conflict, because you think you're right and you think they are wrong. And so if we come at it with that mindset, the relationship is going to lose, because like you say, and I love it, if there's a winner, there's a loser.
Right.
And if there's a loser, then that means the relationship is losing.
Right. And I think sometimes that can be so difficult, especially if it's something that is a real heated topic.
Trigger.
And would really trigger people. And I think that one of the things that we can do is try to think, isn't that interesting? There is my husband talking like that, and I just think that is wrong, but I'm just going to let him go on, or something, you know, or you could say, that's interesting. It's interesting that you think that. I have a totally different perspective on that. Or I never even knew that that was a hot button for you. Or, you know what I'm saying? So that you can learn to be in the conflict and make it better as your teamwork.
Totally.
Yeah.
This to me might be one of the most difficult things in our relationships.
Well, when I'm in the middle of conflict, I really don't care about understanding.
No, I don't want to understand you. I want you to understand me.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
And say I'm sorry.
Yeah, as quickly as possible. It's true.
Yeah.
So when I try to encourage couples that when somebody experiences a negative impact and they take a risk and share that negative impact that they've experienced with their partner, that, I mean, I think you told me, or maybe it was Dr. Gary Barnes, who was on this show a long time ago. He said, he taught me something interesting. He said that how productive and how quickly a conflict is resolved is determined in the first 3 minutes of the conflict. How well we do that first 3 minutes is going to determine how quickly the outcome, how little or how much damage is done in the process. How much are you going to have to recover from? And so I just encourage couples to, as hard as it is, try to meet that person that has experienced the negative impact by you in some way, shape, or form with kindness, compassion and curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want the argument, if you want the conflict to end quickly, do that.
Yeah. That's so good.
If you want to fight,
yeah.
then tell your side and tell them they're wrong.
Yeah. Even if you're thinking, I am never going to agree to that. But but it's not, but it's when you do it, when you can be okay not winning or not getting your point across or whatever it is, then the relationship can remain in thrive mode.
Yes.
Because when somebody, like we've talked, if somebody loses, if there's a winner, there's a loser, and the loser is going to not like losing. Nobody wants to lose.
No, nobody wants to lose.
Yeah.
So I do believe this, even though it's impossible to feel in the moment, that conflict is an opportunity. But it's really hard to let go of your ego. It's really hard to let go of your pride. It's really hard to not be right.
Well, and so, I mean, you don't have to leave your position. Sometimes you just need to shut your mouth. So,
Totally.
and then you can think in your head, that is so wrong. But I don't need to win, because I don't want the relationship to lose. And that's been that's been a really great thing that Tom and I have learned to do, or I guess we've gotten old enough that we just don't fight. And my first husband and I fought. And I fought. I mean, I was like a little pit bull. I thought my goal was to chew you up and spit you out. I guess with age and understanding what a relationship
and growing
maturing yourself. And so that we just don't fight.
It's great.
We can disagree.
You can have conflict. There can be conflict, but fighting and conflict are two completely different things. Yeah. All right, you want to take 7?
Sure. Vulnerability and honesty are welcome. You understand that lies create distance that can limit the strength of your connection. One of the ways you love each other is by letting your truth come forward and by putting your guard down so you can deeply know one another.
I will take that one step further, and I will say that lies not only create distance, I don't think it's possible to have a thriving relationship that is where there's lies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily, if I put on an outfit and I go in and I say, Tom, do you like this outfit? And he's thinking, ooh, no, she looks terrible in that, and if I just soon him not tell me that he thinks I look terrible in it, but he could say, well, do you like it? And try to be collaborative without being demolishing the other person.
I totally agree with
so
that.
I think honesty, I think that honesty is something that we need to moderate, because I think sometimes too much honesty is unkind.
I actually very much agree with that. When I think of lies in a relationship, I think of like hiding, sneaking, destructive things. I totally agree with you that I don't think everything needs to be exposed, and I don't want. I mean, if Craig was 100% honest with me all the time, and I was 100% open and vulnerable and honest with him, every single situation, I don't think we would be in a relationship.
No.
I don't need to know everything.
No, we don't. We don't need to know everything, and we don't need to say everything. And I think one of the things that people can do with knowing how to bridle their expression is to ask themselves, does this have the potential of really damaging my relationship? And if the answer is yes, then I strongly suggest that people shut their mouth and breathe and give themselves 24 to 48 hours to determine if that really is that important.
And maybe go talk to a counselor.
Yeah.
About does this need to be revealed?
Yeah.
I mean, if I ate Mexican food and I had bad breath, I would not want I would not want Craig to be like, man, your breath stinks. I'd just rather brush my teeth when I get home and then we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear that.
I just say, would you like a piece of gum?
Do you have any mints, babe? That's just not, I mean, it's just a circumstance.
No.
You know, we just had Mexican food. I would not destroy Craig's,
Happy Buzz,
yeah,
Miko.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin his mambo. I'm not here to do that. Like, some days, you're going to have bad breath, and I don't need to know that. That's but there's a lot of people who live in that space where, it's just really important that I'm always honest and open and truthful. I don't know. I don't want to hear about my bad breath.
No, me neither.
Okay, Tom, you want to tackle 8?
Yes.
All right.
Laughter and rest are a central part of your union. Your connection is so vibrant and you enjoy each other's company so deeply that it is easy to make each other laugh. You are good at slowing down together by letting each other know what your energy levels are. The same way you take on the world together, you also close the doors to it so you can fully recharge.
It's interesting to me that they put laughter and rest in the same paragraph, but I do think both are essential.
I do too.
But I'm just wondering what the connection is for this author.
I think that when people can lighten up a little bit and laugh together, I think it brings you together.
Oh, yes.
And
if Craig and I didn't laugh, I would not be in a relationship with him. We laugh all the time. Do you and Tom?
Yeah, we laugh a lot.
Do you, Tom?
Yeah, we do. And I even use laughter I use laughter all the time. I will try to make Maureen laugh just to get her to not be mad at me. So whenever she's blowing a gasket and I'm just just veins popping out and screaming, and it's just I'll say something so that would normally make any other person pull out a gun and shoot me, and I'm doing it in a way to where it's just so over the top that it makes her laugh.
What would that be?
Well, a perfect example would be you guys watch The Office?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
There's an episode early in that first couple seasons where Pam was super mad, having the worst day. She had to go out in the stairwell to start crying. and Dwight comes down and sits next to her and just goes, "You must be PMSing really hard right now." And it was just the worst thing he could have said to her, but it made her laugh because it was so ridiculous. And that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Really
that
cute.
kind of thing where it's so over the top that you can't even just stop down and laugh at it.
I bet you're really good at that. That takes a special skill because that is a fine line. That is a fine line when I'm in the
Is
thick
it
of
time
it.
for you to have that time of the month? I'd be
boy.
like,
But it just probably because it's Dwight and he's such a dipshit.
That show's great.
so funny.
It is. But I do agree that we all need laughter and we all need rest. I do think it's important as well to share with your partner when you do need rest.
Yeah.
When I need to go to bed early tonight, or man, I'm wiped out, or could you just tickle my back or can we talk about this tomorrow? I am not, I don't have the headspace for that, and really appreciating where our partner is.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really important.
Okay, number 9, you let each other change. The reality is that who you both were when you fell in love and who you are now is quite different, or I guess might be quite different. You accept the fact that your likes and dislikes will evolve over time. You use this truth as a way to remain curious about each other.
Yeah, that's funny. Because you know what ran through my head?
What?
There was this, Tom made this, when Tom and I were dating, Tom has a son, Corey, and Tom would make dinner for Corey. And when Corey was spending the night with Tom would make dinner for Corey, and he loved to have, sit down and have dinner. It was really important to him. And so he made this, made this tuna and peas casserole once.
Oh, boy. That sounds awful.
It was awful. But I just faked it and said that I liked it. And then one night he grilled salmon, and I promise I wasn't lying, but I must have just been in such a space of love
Oh, boy.
that I ate the salmon and I thought it was good, and I hate salmon.
Oh.
And since then, I've never eaten Tom's salmon. I'll eat salmon raw. I'll eat sushi, but not cooked. And he's like, "You were just lying to me about the salmon, weren't you?" And I was
Sorry.
like, "Well, no, I really don't think I was. I think I was just so enamored with Tom
Aw.
that I ate it."
That's cute.
Well, I don't know.
Like, I don't know if it's that cute.
I don't think it's that cute. Oh, that's funny. So when we fell in love, I was eating peas and tuna and salmon.
We do crazy things in young love.
We do.
Even if we're falling in love as we're older. I mean, Craig was taking yoga classes with me a week after we met, and Craig had never done, but now Craig loves yoga.
He does.
He goes 3 to 4 times a week with me. He absolutely loves it. But yes, we all do crazy things in the beginning.
Yeah.
That is for darn sure.
Yeah, we do.
Do you think you've changed that much since you and Tom first started dating?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I am more honest with Tom. And I mean, I think being raised in West Texas and being taught that you just need to be nice, which means you just say yes with a smile, even if that's not really what's going on. And I don't do that anymore. I mean, I'm really legit with Tom now, but I try to be really kind when I'm legit with him. I am sensitive to his sensitivity. I don't want to hurt his feelings or anything.
No.
But I'm a different person in those areas.
Oh, that's healthy. That's healthy change.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Craig and I have been dating 4 years, and I think I'm
4 years?
Yeah. Can you believe that?
No. I cannot believe that.
It's been a long time.
Go girl.
Yeah. By the time we get married, it'll be almost 5 years.
Oh my gosh. Now, when are you getting married? Do you know?
Next June.
Oh, you are? Oh, good. Are you going to go somewhere really fun? Or are you not telling?
Oh no, we need to stay close because we want all of our family. It's just It's just going to be family. So we rented a big home off of an island in Galveston, and we'll do it with just family.
So fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, good.
Are we on 10?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, how about you tackle 10?
Well, I'm trying to get it back up. Here
Okay,
it is.
well, we'll just see who gets there first.
Let's see.
10.
Here's 10.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Oh, this is totally.
Yeah, you don't control each other.
That's a good one for you.
You know that freedom is the centerpiece of love, and that control creates friction that can fracture a beautiful connection. Instead, you talk to each other about what you can voluntarily commit to. This will make how you function as a unit clear to the both of you. I was on my way here. I was talking with a client, and I'm going to meet with he and his wife tomorrow. And we were talking, and one of the things that we talked about was the importance of making sure that you have discussed what your commitments are and how you, if I say I'm going to do this, then I need to do it. If I can't, then I need to go back to my partner and renegotiate what I've agreed to do, so that we're not trying to control one another and trying to get somebody to do what they initially said. You know, if somebody has an attitude about money and finances, and then later on in love, and the guy saying, yeah, you can spend more money, and then he starts thinking, I really don't want to do that, then he needs to go to her and say, we got to renegotiate this commitment. Because if we don't renegotiate, then we will try to be out of control at trying to be in control, trying to get somebody to be what they originally said they would be. Some of those things might be a deal breaker, but some of them are not.
I love this first line. You know that freedom is the centerpiece of love.
Yeah.
I mean, we may be in a relationship, but we are still an individual.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that makes me the most nervous about getting married is I have absolutely loved the freedom of being single.
Yeah.
I love it because, I mean, not that I think anything is really going to change when Craig and I get married, but I have just really kind of grown into my own.
Yeah.
And it's really important to me. And now that my kids are going to be gone, and, there's just a lot of freedom in this stage of life.
Yeah.
And I want to embrace the freedom. I don't want to be controlled ever.
No. And because I don't think that that's loving.
No, it's not loving.
Yeah.
It is not loving. I think there are a lot of people in controlling marriages and controlling relationships, and that would feel like prison to me.
Yeah, me too.
I do not want to be controlled.
No, me neither.
It's just going to make me cranky.
Yeah, like you're just downright mean.
Okay, Tom, you want to tackle number 11?
Sure.
Our last one.
You don't take each other for granted. As time moves forward, you don't let the busyness of life make you forget to appreciate your partner. Within your mind and in your actions, you intentionally rekindle the gratitude that you have to be one with one another.
Love that.
I believe in this so much. This is such an important one.
It really is.
There is such a problem with settling. Just there's beauty in like being settled in a relationship, but it is a fine line with taking your partner for granted. There's so many people give the advice when people are getting married, always be dating. Always be dating. Like, don't forget flowers. Don't forget to make date night. Don't forget to send the texts in the middle of the day. Like, I'm just thinking about how much I love you. Like, I think that this is so critical in a thriving relationship.
Yeah, and just to be able to say to your partner, you know what, I really appreciate that you're kind, and I appreciate how hard you work, or to be appreciated is a really esteeming thing that we do when we appreciate other people. We end up feeling better about everything.
Totally.
Because we're focused on the positive with one another.
This is where it's really important to understand your partner's love language as well. Because I may really appreciate words of affirmation and Craig may really appreciate quality time. And so it's just really important that not only do you have an expectation that of you fulfilling, or your partner helping you feel better. If you like words, that they give you the words and all the thing, but pay attention to what your partner's is as well. If they like physical touch and you don't like physical touch, I would recommend putting yourself out there and getting uncomfortable in order to make your partner feel more satisfied in the relationship.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing for a lot of people to do.
It
And
is.
one thing that I have noticed that people say that kind of actually drives me crazy, they will say, well, that's just not me.
Uh-huh.
You know, if a couple comes in and they're fighting about how often they're having sex, and the husband wants more sex and the wife wants less sex, and you know, I'm just not physical. That's just not me. I'm like, well, you're in a marriage now, and so, you know, maybe just getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. I think that's a cop out answer to resolution in conflict in a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
If your partner is
And-
wanting more or different listening.
Well, but you may not be, but there may, you know, if your partner wants to do a threesome,
No.
then you're like, you know, if it's outside of your value system,
That's a no.
you know,
for me.
then I think you just have to negotiate it.
That's right.
You know, I mean, if somebody wants to have sex 7 times a week and you're like a twice a week person or once a week person, then that needs to be discussed and
That's right.
negotiated.
That's right.
You know, because you want to negotiate. When you're negotiating a lot of things in a relationship, I always tell people you're negotiating to a place of being reasonably comfortable.
Yes.
Not perfectly
Yep.
comfortable, but reasonably comfortable.
A good compromise is when
Yeah.
both parties are a little bit uncomfortable.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And that's what you have to do.
You do.
You have to get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think we all have to move our needle a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to, don't get married. Don't be in a relationship.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't want to do the things that a relationship requires or can thrive in, then don't get married
Yeah.
or don't be in a relationship.
Yeah.
That's okay too.
Yeah. It is.
Well, I thought these were fantastic.
Me too. I really
Great
liked 'em.
tips. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Tom, I'm going to ask you next. How do you think you and Tom land your plane and thriving with these 11 areas?
I think that we do pretty much all of that.
I would say that's
I mean,
what I observe in you.
we have a really good relationship. It's an easy relationship. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. We really don't fight ever. I mean, we probably had really aggressive words maybe once. I mean, we just don't. We disagree, but we are considerate of one another.
Well, both of you did a lot of work and
We have.
and became really different people, and that's probably the big attraction to one
Yeah.
another at the
Yeah.
time that the relationship came.
You know, and the thing is, one of the things that I really do appreciate is Tom, when people really can look at themselves, then it makes it easier. It just makes life easier. So for
So true.
us to look at ourselves, have the ability to be like, you know what, you're right about that. That was so snarly that I said that, or rather than being, well, you blah blah blah, and it just makes it easier.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
Because we're just human.
Yeah. We
What
are.
about you, Tom? How do you think you and Maureen do?
I think that we do all of these things too. Although I feel like it's all subconsciously. I don't think we're thinking
Oh,
about
I think that's
this.
even better.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like
Me
that.
too.
I think it's kind of what you do when you know you want to be in a loving, healthy relationship.
Yeah.
These are kind of things that you just naturally gravitate toward. And hopefully, if you're with a healthy person, so do they.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Because these are the same things that you do with friendships too. So yeah.
It's really true.
Yeah.
Well, we hope this remedy was a great one for you and that this helps your relationship becomes more thriving. Love that word.
Me too.
Love it, love it. And thanks so much for listening. Hope you all have a great week.
Thank you for listening.